Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Second Cup of Coffee. Pastor Tom here with you. So excited that you would join us. If you haven't liked us on YouTube, downloaded our app, found us on Facebook, we would really appreciate if you did that. It's not so much that we're trying to build a following as much as if this means something to you, it gives you an opportunity to share it off one of those platforms. And I think that this conversation we're going to have today is going to mean something to you. This is Sam Gonzalez, and I'm excited that she's here. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I've known about Sam longer than I've known Sam because I know the Gonzalez family. Just a little background. She's married to Garrison Gonzalez. They got married, how long has it been?
I want to say 3, maybe 4 months.
3-4 months. So it's still a newlywed. It's exciting.
Definitely.
It's exciting. But before she married Garrison, Ileana and I have known the Gonzalez family for a really long time. So you and Garrison went to school, the same high school.
Yes.
Right. So I knew of Sam, but like I said before, I met Sam. So she's going to get into a little bit of her testimony, even about that time in her life, which ties back to last week. We had a really cool time with Jasmine Macias talking about God moving her to just be involved in people's lives. We call it kind of shepherding people towards Jesus. And we're using the shepherds of the Bible when in Luke, they get this angelic visitation. Jesus is born. They go in a hurry, find him, and then they're telling everybody around, wow, the Messiah is here, right? The Messiah is born in a manger in Bethlehem. So going back to Jasmine Macias, we had it's probably about a month and a half ago, we had a baptism, and then the following week you did a testimony. Mm-hmm. But like 2 weeks before that, she had done, during Youth Sunday, kind of a mini sermon. Yeah. Kind of on this shepherding thing. And so can you just take it from there? Because you mentioned that kind of in your testimony about her talking about that and how it lined up with your path a little bit with God. Can you just kind of walk people through at least the beginning parts of that? What did that look like for you?
Okay, so... Ooh, this is hard. All right. Started off freshman year of high school. I met many people just going into high school. You meet a whole bunch of people from different middle schools. We all kind of come together. And one of the people I met was McKenna Gonzalez. And she was a bit different than most. And reason being was she was just on fire for God and she was unapologetic about it. And that struck me differently because she didn't care if people called her names and, oh, you're a Bible thumper and, oh, you're this and that. She just kept on loving God. And it was super intimidating for me because I never interacted with someone like that. And I never knew how to cohabitate, I guess, with someone like that. And instead of going closer and drawing near because I was actually curious, I instead ran away. Which God is very gracious. And if you miss a divine appointment, I truly believe he will make another one for you, which later on he did. So fast forward, I want to say 6 years, 4 years of Ken and I not speaking to each other. All of a sudden, she just randomly hit me up one night and had said, hey, super random, but I get off in 30 minutes and I realize that the place I recently just started working at is about 3 minutes away from where I last dropped you off senior year after homecoming. Do you still live there? I said, yeah. And she goes, okay. You want to hang out in the parking lot? No rhyme or reason, just 10 o'clock at night, 2 girls sitting in front of Smart and Final hanging out. And I didn't know that that was going to be a game changer for me. Mm-hmm. And my life totally changed because of that night. I was walking through a lot. I was far from God. I will admit to that. Mm-hmm. And Kenna was still on fire for God in a whole nother light. This time she was talking about going to Zimbabwe. She was talking about being a missionary. I mean, she amplified in her desire to be close to God. But I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to shy away this time. I actually want to draw closer. And she did everything a good shepherd would do. She made a way for me and made me super comfortable in coming to a church. I mean, every Sunday drove me to church because I didn't want to be by myself. Made sure I sat next to someone, always knew that I had a family to go to. She extended her family to me so that I was comfortable. And extended a little bit more than I think either one of us bargained for. And I shortly started dating her brother. And then, the rest is history, got married. But yeah, super impactful.
Well, so let's for some of our more mature video watchers, hit me up means she called her or she texted her. She contacted her. No, you're fine. It's fine. I just want them to understand, like, she hit her. No, she didn't. She contacted her. And I love what you said. She made it super comfortable. Mm-hmm. I think that let me just speak to the audience. Go out of your way to make it comfortable for people to know Jesus. Don't expect that they're going to understand what you understand. And do your best to explain things that they don't understand. Because I think coming into any church, but coming into our church, I imagine you ran into some things. I will just give you an example. I talked to you about baptism probably months before you got baptized.
Yeah.
And probably not, I don't know if it was uncomfortable, but just from my mindset, it's like, well, why wouldn't you get baptized?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later when we had another conversation, you said, well, these are the reasons I didn't want to get baptized. And what she laid out to me were legitimate reasons, but they wouldn't fall into my kind of, they were outside of my perception if she hadn't explained it to me. And so I think that's my encouragement to you. Just realize that some people that you are called to shepherd, mm-hmm. they're going to have experiences that fall outside of your perception. So be willing to go at their pace, if it's okay to say, because you're talking 6 year or 4 year gap, right, between when you met her and then when you guys got really close. Mm-hmm. So I want to. There is so much in what she just said. I just want you to sit with it, because the way she explained it, I was sitting there like, I don't have anything to say. I mean, literally, the way you explained it is my heart for this season and what we're doing in the second cup of coffee. Yeah. That people would be willing to walk it out that long and that far and be available, but also be willing to risk it after 4 years and say, hey, do you want to hang out?
Definitely.
So I want to switch gears with you, because when she gave her testimony, Sam has a wonderful way of hearing the Lord. And and she mentioned it, but I thought about this before. Can you tell the story? Because you and Garrison were together, then mm-hmm. you and Garrison were broken up.
Oh, definitely.
For a season, mm-hmm. which I don't know anything about that kind of thing. If you guys know my testimony, trust me, I know about that. Anyway, you guys were broken up, but there was I don't even remember, so you're going to have to tell the whole story about when God spoke to you in the car about getting married. And then you went home and told your mom, and your mom was like, I don't think it works that way, but Can you kind of tell that story? Because it's so refreshing how you hear God, at least for me.
So I'm a believer that God will speak to you in the way that you most are accepting of advice. Me personally, I grew up in a household that sarcasm was how you broke through barriers with me. My brother was very sarcastic. He told it in a matter of fact, kind of had like a jab, so to speak, and a ha-ha, he-he, but really, Sam, correct yourself. And that was the best way to get a hold of me. And so I truly, genuinely feel like God does the same with me. And so Garrison and I had separated, of all days, on Valentine's Day. And about a month later, things took a turn for the worse for his health, which was unexpected. And I was absolutely terrified, because this was a game changer, not only for him personally, but also for us, because we were trying to navigate what that looked like. And I vividly remember driving and crying out to God. I have a tendency of demanding to know things as if he owes me anything. But I'm sitting there demanding to God in my car, give me reasons for X, Y, and Z, and why isn't this happening? And you told me this, and what about that? And what about this promise? And God so lovingly said, I need you to wait and just give me a year. Just sit and wait. And so, of course, I had to press into it. And I was like, wait for what? What are we waiting for? What is it? And I got nothing else. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, I got this overwhelming feeling of joy as if I was engaged. I started acting engaged, and I was sitting there thinking, like, don't even talk to me. I am married. And all these things. I didn't even have a boyfriend at that time. We weren't even together. We're still working on it. But I had told my mom, I went home, and I was like, Mom, I know this is crazy, but I'm going to be married in a year, and I just want you to know that. And she's just like, I don't think that's how it works. I don't know. I think we're just getting a little hopeful. No, Sam, that's not how it works. And within the year, I got proposed to, and God really moves if you allow it.
I got nothing left to say. God really moves if you allow it. And if Jesus is willing to speak in a language that somebody understands, then as shepherds, we really need to be willing to speak a language that people can understand, rather than just speaking what we know and hoping they catch it.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm going to take away as a pastor from the conversation today. I really appreciate, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate the testimony, but I appreciate having watched kind of where you've started to where you are, and how you hear God is refreshing to me. And so thank you. Thank you for taking the time and being with us. I hope you guys got something out of that. If you're in that waiting season like Sam was, trust her testimony. God does come through, and it's way better on the other side.
Oh, right? Definitely.
Way better on the other side. And know that if you are called to be a shepherd, you're also called to speak the language. So let's listen to the Lord. Say, God, what is the best way to connect with people so they can understand you at the end of the day and come closer to you? We love you. God bless you. And thanks for hanging out with us.